Today is our weekly awesome SGC Slabs shared by viewership, shared by the community. I always love doing this show. Stick around. Hello to all my sports card collectors, investors, all of my collectibles friends. It is another day. It is another card video. Got a fresh haircut yesterday and I am ready to roll. If you're new here and you're looking for that daily card content, you have come to the right place. Please hit the big red button down below, the subscribe button. Karate chop the like button, if you will. Maybe not really karate chop it, but you know what I mean. And then also don't forget to connect with me on IG at Sports Card Dad, and I'm also on the Twitter machine, the Sports Card Dad. Also tonight, don't miss Mama Breaks is going to be on Off-Centered, Brad the Comeback Card Investor channel. Definitely check that out. It'll be on the Card Collector Investor channel, Brad's channel. It'll be a good time, so definitely don't miss it. All right, let's dive into this. So what I do is go out into the community. I'm a part of an SGC buy, sell, trade Facebook group. And then I also receive DMs through IG, through email, etc., with people sharing slabs. And so what I do is take 10 of them or 8 of them, however many I can get, into a video and we talk about it. There's some really interesting cards that viewers and other folks, they're grading, and it's kind of cool just to see what people are going after, what they're grading, etc. So we will go ahead and kick this thing off. First, we've got from James W. to 2014 Topps Chrome Tom Brady refractors, a purple refractor and also an X-fractor. These things are popular, especially with Tom Brady. I'm a big Drew Brees fan, so I've got Drew Brees versions of these cards, similar stuff. A couple from 2014, but then other years as well. Topps Chrome obviously being just a very popular product, and it will be coming back to football with Fanatics taking over Topps, so everybody's excited about that. This is the 2014 version, both in SGC 10s. So congrats to James on getting 10s on those. Very, very cool cards. Next up, going the non-sports route, the culture card route, we got a 2021 Topps Chrome Jedi a la Kurosawa. I'm saying it wrong, probably. Star Wars. And it's all the Jedis on the card. Very, very cool card. Mojo numbered out of 50 refractor. All the buzzwords, refractor, the mojo, all the stuff, it's numbered. It's an SGC 10. This was shared by Greg. I just thought this was cool. I don't have any Star Wars cards, but you've seen kind of that move into the culture card space, into the non-sports stuff, and people are just looking outside of sports. They're looking at celebrity cards and, favorite shows and movies and actor cards, all the different stuff, musicians. And so this kind of falls in that same line. Very, very awesome looking card. Next, we got Josh C. shared a 1938 cartilage razor Frank Slavin famous prize fighter edition. It's in the old SGC slab. Pretty cool. SGC 96, which is not an easy grade to get from a card, from any card, let alone one from 1938. It's almost in pristine condition. It's in the old slab, like I said. What a high grade on a card from 1938. That's incredible. What is that, 80 years, 80 plus years? Boxing cards. Boxing cards always kind of interested me. Again, I don't own any boxing cards, but there's a lot of people I've seen that have gone into that vintage boxing card space. Ryan, actually, one of my hobby friends, Ryan at Breakout Cards, I've seen him picking up these pre-war boxing cards. Pretty cool. Mike L. shared a 1997 Grand Slam Ventures Tall Boy Tiger Woods. What's interesting about this card? Because it's from 1997. So you have the 2001 Upper Deck Tiger Woods, which is considered the rookie card. And, Mike kind of makes a good point here. It's like, well, this is one that came out 4 years before that card. True rookie? Is this going to be like the star card? The controversy with the MJ, the star card and the Fleer. I don't know if this was licensed. I assume it was, but I just don't know. So, maybe that could be a hang up, but still cool to see a card from 1997. It's a great looking card, and it's a tall boy, which I like the tall boy stuff. Some people don't like the bigger slabs, kind of the taller slabs, but this is a really nice card in an SGC 9. All right, long name on this one. Eric L. shared a 2022 The National 52 Topps Design Rookies Gold numbered out of 50. Julio Rodriguez, red hot baseball prospect. Very, very cool card. It is an SGC 9.5. You guys know I'm not a big baseball guy, especially not a baseball prospecting guy, but I've heard this guy's name come up a lot lately. A lot of people are excited about Julio Rodriguez, and so very, very cool find. George N. throwing it back with some vintage football, 1956 Topps Frank Gifford in an SGC 5. Is this the rookie card? That was the one question I guess I had for George. I assume this is a Frank Gifford rookie, just from 1956, but I'm not quite sure on that. So, but I love the vintage football, so I thought this was just a cool share. Frank Gifford, rest in peace. I believe he was also a commentator after his playing days, but one of those kind of old-time NFL legends. John W. shared a very unique card, 1915, obviously pre-war. This is pre-World War I. Zenat PCL Fred McMullen in an SGC 1. This guy only has one card, according to John. And this is something that I thought was interesting because he said you have to have this card if you want to complete the 8 Men Out collection, which again, this is the kind of a cool part of the hobby. And we're talking about vintage kind of niche sets here. You always hear about kind of 90s basketball insert sets and this and that and whatever. What you don't hear a lot about though are some of those really niche vintage baseball sets and maybe also basketball, football, etc. But this is one where I've never even heard of the set before he shared this card. So I thought that was cool. How many of these niche kind of vintage sets are out there and how many collectors are trying to find these particular cards? These are really kind of the needle in the haystack type stuff. The stuff, if you're really after the chase, you just don't see them. And I think he had said there's approximately believed to be 15 copies of this particular card out there. So if you want to complete that set, you got to have one of these. Very, very cool. Swinging it over to Marvel. Jeff W. He's hit me in the heartstrings with some of the nostalgia stuff. The 1992 Impel Marvel Venom promo card. Very, very cool. And this is a hologram. If you know anything about those early 90s Marvel cards that are holograms, they are extremely hard grades because the surface, forget about centering and edges and all the rest of the things, the surface on these were beat up quite a bit. So it's not easy to find these in a mint condition or in a good grade. This one is in an SGC 9. So congrats to Jeff for getting an SGC 9 on this because like I said, these do not grade easily at all, those hologram cards. I had actually looked into, buying some sets of these hologram cards raw and trying to grade them. And as I looked at it closer, it's kind of like with PMGs where you're trying to take a very fragile card and get a high grade on it. You might, but you probably won't. And so interesting and congrats on that SGC 9. All right, Brady shared this one to me on IG, and this is a very, very cool card. 1937 Ogdens. Jesse Owens, champions of 1936, sitting in an SGC 8. Again, just an amazing grade for a card that goes back to 1937. Classic photo too on this card. Jesse Owens, obviously the American runner that making waves back in the day. Just awesome. Jesse Owens, I've heard that name kind of thrown around too as just kind of one of those goats. It doesn't really have a ton of cards, so if you're looking for kind of a track and field goat, Jesse Owens, the historical significance, I thought this was just a really neat card and wanted to share it. All right, and last but certainly not least, we got to finish out with a guy. And actually, he said, this was in the SGC Facebook group, he's like, I know this isn't going to make the show, but I think it's a really cool card. Well, Corey, it made the show. This is from Corey D. 2020 Mosaic Joe Burrow Green Prism in an SGC 10. First, congrats on the SGC 10, that gem mint grade. Joe Burrow, of course, look, the guy made it to the Super Bowl with no offensive line whatsoever. Yes, he had weapons, but the fact that this guy could just get the ball off, I think that he's just got a bright future based on that fact alone. And actually, the Bengals beefed up their offensive line this offseason. That was kind of the one thing looking back at last season. I remember saying, man, once Joe Burrow gets an offensive line, look out. And he has one now, or what looks to be. They've put draft capital into it. They brought in free agents. I think that was the whole focus, is make sure that Joe Burrow is protected, especially after seeing the guy can get to a Super Bowl with no offensive line to speak of. So yes, congrats, Corey, on that SGC 10. Let's see what Joe Burrow's got. Let's see what he's got. Does he have any juice this year? We'll find out shortly with football season opening up here soon. Guys, thank you very much for joining me here. I love doing this episode. This is a fun one, just sharing kind of stuff from viewers that they're excited about, that they want to share. So if you do have these types of cards, comment in the video down below if there's anything you want to share. My email's in the video description, and then I'm also on IG. Connect with me there. And then you can send me pics of stuff that you would like to see on the show, and I'll do my best. I'm only doing, 8, 9, 10 cards a week, and I've gotten probably 100 cards sent to me, so I'm just doing my best to get through them. But again, appreciate the sharing and the engagement. Guys, stay healthy, stay awesome, and I will talk to you again later.